Hi, this is Matt with e-cigadvanced.com, and today we're going to take a look at the soon-to-be released Akston SL from AkstonHughes.com. This is the latest device from Akston Hughes. The Akston SL is a selectable voltage device with settings at 4 volts, 4.5 volts, and 5 volts. Akston Hughes also makes the SVR. This is very much like it in appearance and function. However, there are several upgrades to this device. Namely, this device meets all of the EMSS safety specs put out by the Electronic Cigarette Forum several months ago, including 650 millimeter squared blowout vents, a dedicated on-off switch, redundant safeties built into it. As it stands right now, the kit from Akston Hughes will come as the bare bones kit is the device itself. You have the battery holder tube, you have a head unit with a switch, and then you have a top cap, and the top cap is removable. The threads are 510 with an Ego skirt threading on there. You have 3 settings. You have the green setting, yellow setting, and red setting, being 4.5, and 5 volts. Unlike the SVR where you have to remove the top cap to get the batteries out, this one has a bottom cap that unthreads, and then you can just replace your batteries that way. This does take 2 16340 protected lithium-ion batteries or IMR batteries. Akston Hughes does sell a W brand on his site, and those are the ones that he recommends for use in this product. This does have an outside Ego thread, unlike the SVR, so you can thread Ego skirts, tank skirts, and whatnot on it to give it a more flush look if you're going to use it with a tank, such as this. This is a Smoke-Tech dual coil tank, slim tank, and that thread's on there. And then you have a top cap. Another thing that's being offered from Akston Hughes is this is called the Sneaker. It's a telescoping, basically a tank protector or cardo protector that goes in place of the top cap. It slides over your tank or your atomizer or your cartomizer, whatever you have on there. As long as it fits in the diameter, this will cover. And then you can slide the Sneaker top cap up or down to the proper length, and so that only your drip tip sticks out. It protects your tank from damage and dirt. So pretty nice feature, and it's got a very nice slick look to it. And it does have blowout vents. They do have a rubber plug inside of them. Those plugs do blow out. I have tested this at about 20 psi. So in the event that you should have a battery degassing, should all of the other safeties in this device fail, you still have a venting away from the face of the user to give you that last level of safety. So what does it vape like? It vapes very well. If you've seen an SVR, used an SVR, you know the 4.5 and the 5 volt setting. While the numbers, if you've seen reviews where they actually put it on an oscilloscope, this device does use pulse width modulation technology. You'll see that the numbers really don't tell you what you're getting. On the SVR, the numbers are a little on the low side for the voltage averages and using the pulse width modulation on the oscilloscope. However, the vape experience is very much like a 4 volt, 4.5, and 5. This one, the numbers are right on. The 4 volt setting is 4 volts. The 4.5 is 4.5. 5 is 5. The difference is the feel of this device. 4 volts doesn't feel like 4 volts. 4 volts is very powerful. It feels like 5, and so on. So this is a lot more powerful device. Another thing about it is because of the circuitry in the head, it's been totally redesigned chip. It's also more efficient, so batteries last longer, which is always a nice bonus. So you get more power, more battery life, a little bit sleeker look, and more safety. So what's not to like? Well, the only thing I can think of that some people might not like about this device is if they really like 1.5 dual coil cartomizers, and a lot of people do. They do not work on this device very well. Actually, they don't work on this device at all. This has a cutoff, a lower limit cutoff of 1.6 ohms. If this device detects a resistance of 1.6 ohms or less, it will not fire. It'll give you an error message through the button. There's a little white ring around here that lights up and blinks 3 times. Once that, if you put a low resistance on it, it just won't work. This device is designed to work between 2 ohms and 3 ohms to get the best performance out of it. So if you have 2 ohm cartomizers, if you have 2.5 ohm cartomizers, 3 ohm cartomizers, this device works very, very well. And that doesn't matter whether it's a single coil or dual coil, because this device also uses what Akston Hughes calls the cyclically adaptive electromechanical sampling. And what that does is it gauges what the resistance is, and it changes the pulse width modulation wave to accommodate that. So it senses your resistance, and it delivers the power differently. So if I'm using a 2 ohm cardo, I'm not going to get as much power out of it, but I'm still getting 4 volts on the scope. Versus if I'm using a 3 ohm cardo, I'm getting more power out of it, but I'm still getting 4 volts at the green setting. So it adapts. So it does very, very well with dual coils. So if you like dual coils and you have your heart set on using dual coils, they do work. Just get the 2 ohm ones. You get a 2 ohm or 2.5 ohm dual coil cartomizer. This thing will fire it all day and will give you tons of vapor, and it's pretty impressive. If you like single coils, 2 ohm low resistance or 3 ohm standard resistance, they both work great on here. If you like the Akston Hughes MK2s, there's a little bit of a tight fit, but eventually they do fit. They work great on here. Most things that are ego fit do fit. Some are a little bit tight, but all in all, most things will work unless the resistance is set too low. So, done a lot of talking. So what does it vape like? I've got it set to green. This is a 2.5 ohm Resurrector single coil in a tank. Set to green. Good flavor, good vapor. Push the button 3 times and it blinks to yellow. More vapor. On this particular juice I'm using a little bit richer flavor. Click it 3 more times. It flashes to the red setting. On this particular cartomizer, that's a little too much. It tastes a little burnt. On this particular one, I like it at the yellow. And it does very, very well there. Tons of vapor, tons of flavor, good throat hit. Now a lot of that, of course, is dependent upon your cartomizer. But this device puts out the power. It does it safely. It has multiple redundant safeties built in. It's got overcurrent protection, overheat protection. It's got an increased heat sink in it for use in warmer climates so that it runs cooler. Should all of your safeties fail, it does have a hard fuse in it that will fire, and I have tested that also, and it does work. And should that fuse fail, then you have your blowout vents. So this is a very, very safe device. And some people are going to be a little nervous because it does use stacked batteries. Again, with all of the redundant features built into this device, I don't think that's a concern. That's my opinion, but I don't think it's a concern. I'm using it and I have no concerns about it at all whatsoever. Again, because I've tested it and I know I've tried to short it, I've tried to blow the fuse, I've tried to bypass the fuse, and I couldn't get to where I could make a battery fail in this device. So that's my review of the Akston SL. It will be released in August. The bare bones without the sneaker, I believe, is being listed for $69.95. I think the sneaker add-on is like another $15. Set of batteries is another $14. There's the other features out that Akston Hughes has stated that will be coming soon for the SL. So my opinion, this device, if you are dead set on a 1.5 dual coil cartomizer, this is not the device for you. However, who is this device good for? This device is good for someone who enjoys either a single coil or dual coil, 2 ohms to 3 ohms. This device puts out a lot of power, puts out a lot of vapor, and you'll be very happy with it. For more reviews and content, please check out e-cigadvanced.com. Be sure to check out our community at e-cigadvanced.com/forums, and we'll catch you next time. Thank you.